everybody? It's your boy Rail back with another late review. That's right, it is Throne Sunday. No, shit, it's not even Sunday. It's Throne Monday. Oh, I'm extra late. Oh my god. I done forgot the days of the week, Jesus. Well, okay. So much for that intro. Salute to the Discord gang. Salute to those listening on Apple and Spotify podcasts. And of course, you, the viewer, who are all equally probably upset with me, who were looking at your phone on Thursday, waiting for another phenomenal Game of Thrones review. And you did not receive one. But that's okay. I make up for it. I might be late, but I don't miss. Okay? And hopefully, don't listen to me because I am the Lord of Broken Promises. But I should have Teller Tuesday ready for tomorrow, and I should have Throne Thursday, the episode 5 ready for you on Thursday. But if I were you listening to me, I would not believe that. I would hope for the best, and remember that Rail is doing his best. Okay? Who you know reviewing this many shows, okay? Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm flooding with content. Give me a goddamn break. But anyway, this was a great episode, per usual. This is how Game of Thrones give it up. Now, it's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two, step two, step two, step two, freaky step two. Baby, what would you do to get to me? What would you say? Oh, I'm sorry. That Aaliyah? Hey. What? Rest in peace. Love me some Aaliyah. Damn, I was off track. Let's get to Daenerys. We haven't heard from Daenerys in a long time, so it's only right that we kick it off with her. Okay? Daenerys is still crusty, still chapped up, looking a bit sunburnt. My baby's looking bad. Still a cutie pie. Even crusty. A crusty pie. Crust pie. That's what she is. Now, one of her riders come back with a nice horse. Nice, refreshing looking horse. Like one that has not been rode many miles through the desert, right? And he's got a little new outfit on. He's got some little pieces on the horse. Things are looking up. She go, hey, that's not your horse, my guy. What's going on? Hey, man, it's these people over there in Karth. Yo, he said they'll take us. Come on, you see the horse, baby. You see the get up. Let's go on. Everybody pack your shit. We going east. Let's do it. Now Jorah, she looks over like, this don't sound right. This seems too good to be true. She's 100% right. Never trust nothing that good, especially in the land of Westeros. It cannot be. It just cannot be. But Jorah, who's a well-traveled man, Jorah's like the guide of Westeros. Like, I don't know somebody who knows more than him than like Tyrion, who stays in books, and like Sam. Them three might be the most educated individuals on Westeros. But Jorah's like, yeah, Karth. Okay, well they call what's outside of Karth, the land of the bones or the city of bones, because they don't just let anybody in. Like if you make it there, you don't get in, that's where you die. And I'm like, holy shit, what's this place about? So they get to traveling, and here they go. They meet the 13. One is an ambassador. I don't know his name. He just looked like some pompous asshole. Like he's been eating good. That man ain't seen a goddamn mead that didn't taste good. He didn't see a boar that he didn't like. The man's been eating, right? And he's sitting there with his whole, mother of dragons, it's you. We're so glad to have you and do this. And she's like trying to get presentable, She looks in a hot mess, but hey, it is what it is. So she's trying to make some introductions. And they get right to the shit. He's like, yeah, we'd love to have you in, but first, we'd like to see these dragons. And I like how he presented it. He did it real slick. He tried the best way you could to try to slide that in. Because, I mean, holy shit, dragons. Like, I'm kind of with him on this one. But he did it as professional as possible. Like, me and the 13 were, like, arguing. Are the dragons real? Does she really have them? And I'm pro-dragon. I think you do. I'm with you. But if you could, before we let you in the car, the greatest city that ever is and ever will be, why don't you go ahead and show them your dragons so I could win? All right? Because I know you got them. So just show them, baby. Show your dragons. Right? Sound like a nasty innuendo. Show your dragons, and some chick goes, "Yeah, it's my dragons." But Danny is taking offense to this because she's like, "Yo, you calling me a liar? No, I got my dragons and I'm not exposing them. Like, what? These are my kids. Would you just show your babies to strangers? No, thank you." Okay? And he's like, "Well, that's unfortunate because if you ain't got no dragons, you ain't got no entry. And I'm speaking for the 13. So that's how that goes. So now Danny's offended. Jorah sees the fire building up in her. And he's like, "Hey, Danny, calm down. Don't do what I think you're gonna do." And what is that he thought he was gonna do? Oh yeah, she did that. Threatened him. She got no water, no food. She's got no way of even getting back to where the fuck they came from. Not like they had it good there, but it's better than hanging outside this gate with absolutely nowhere to sit. Like it wasn't a rock in sight. Like you can't even have a seat out there. And she does that. She's like, "You know what? When my dragons get big, which they will, they're gonna get older, and I start burning shit, Karth is gonna be the first goddamn player. I'm gonna start coming at everybody that talks shit about me. And you know what's going on that list first? Karth. I'm burning this motherfucker to the ground for how y'all disrespecting me." I don't like dude, but I liked his response. He's like, "Oh, that's unfortunate to hear. But if I don't let you in, you yourself just said you die. So I was gonna say, hey, point him." And she had the dumb face on. But then here comes Zaba Zorazirazane. I don't know the fuck his name, Hella Z's or Hella V's. The black dude of 13. He steps in, takes on Danny and say, "Look, I'm imparting something. I'm gonna cut myself." I don't fucking know. It's some weird ass 13 tradition. And those two creeps back there that look like they haven't seen sunlight, like how are they in the desert and that pale? You can't trust those two. Them twins, the bald head twins, look like fucking the world's first vampires. Like I was like, I don't know. You in a desert land and you ain't got no type of. Did they have sunscreen back there? Cause them boys look like they in trouble. Just be out there with no fucking umbrella or nothing. I was like, okay, you're risking it. You're risking melanoma. Should protect yourself. But he does that and says, "Hey, you good with me? Keep your dragons. All right, come on in. Mother of dragons, I'm with you." And he's like, "Oh, you son of a bitch. Like, well, she's your concern. If they fuck up, you know what it is on you." So Danny is saved. Salvation. But I can't lie. When they opened that gate and I saw Karth, I said, "Well, I'll be damned." These men talk weird, and they keep referring to it as the greatest city that ever was and ever will be. And by the looks, they might be on point. King's Landing looks like a piece of shit. Winterfell looks like a piece of shit. Castle Rock that we've seen looks like a piece of shit. The Greyjoys, where they at, the Iron Islands, look like, you got it, a piece of shit. But Karth, them motherfuckers had an open ocean. They had tall buildings. Look like Florence, Italy, or some shit. I was like, this is gorgeous. Yes. Okay, please let us in. So Danny is saved. Finally, we're good. You know, everybody is not having it too good. Jon Snow is having a pretty rough time. He's winning battles. Right now, we get not Jon Snow. Jesus, Rob Snow. So we got Rob Snow. He's winning battles, but it's a conversation that he has with, I guess, his commander. I can't think of his name, but he lets him know, like, look, we got limited food. You trying to keep prisoners? I understand you're noble. I say we flay some of these fuckers, get some answers, and get them on out of here. Let them know that this ain't the army. Send a message to the Lannisters, like, fighting for them. This ain't what you want. And I'm partial to agree with him. I am. And Rob, in true dumbass Stark spirit, this false nobility, like, because you know what I hate about the Starks? They always talk noble, take these noble deeds, which is always the rough road, which is always the dumb thing to do. But then they talk all this honor shit and then go do some unhonorable shit. Ned stood on his principles, did all this honorable things, only to forge King Baratheon's signature on some shit he never said. Did we forget that? I didn't. But they so noble. And then here goes Rob, who's betrothed to another woman, sitting there falling in love. Right? He's got that going on. But hold on, we'll get to that. Still got to speak about this very important conversation that may have went overlooked because it was a heavy foreshadowing in this one. So Rob is like, no, my father outlawed flaying in the north, so I will not take part in it. And, you know, we have their prisoners and they got prisoners too, my sisters. So I don't want to ignite them. And I get that. That makes sense. But maybe let's not flay them, but we definitely is not going to bring them. Because what you're going to do, Rob, is eventually start a mutiny. Because you got soldiers out here risking their life for you, fighting for you, and your cause. And you have limited rations already. So food to feed fighters, that's part of the thing. So now you carrying these prisoners with you, which means you got it. Less food for the people that's actually helping you. So if I'm a soldier and I'm fighting in Rob's dumbass war because I think he's a good dude and I'm like, yo, I'm Team Winterfell. I'm going to hold him down. Fuck the Lannisters. Cool. The least I could expect, me risking my life, me seeing my homeboy just yesterday get his whole shit opened up by a mace. At least I'm going to eat. But then I got to look over and I'm like, wait, what we having for dinner? Fucking bread again? Bread and a half a thimble of water? And you see the prisoners enjoying the same meal you are, but not risking their life? Yes, it's called mutiny, Rob. You should be looking out for it. And my man was trying to let him know, but he wasn't listening. He was too busy falling in love with some foreign woman, which, yes, she was fine. She's probably the finest person that's on the show so far, next to Dany, so I'm not going to lie. All right, but he gets into this philosophical debate about war with her and much, and he's falling for her, right? Over this conversation about this random Lannister soldier having to lose a leg, not really knowing the Lannisters. This war is dumb. Whatever, lady, nurse lady, okay? But what I've noticed is, yes, this is Rob's type of chick. Why? Because his mother is Catelyn Stark. Like, he is used to strong-minded women. So this is right up his alley. Because we all know who ran Winterfell. Oh, it wasn't Ned. Not by a long shot. It was Catelyn Stark. Catelyn Stark. And you know, when you're raised by a strong woman like that and you want to feel your father's footsteps, you know, you want to be honorable like Ned, you want a strong woman like Ned, this is probably what you're going to want. So that's what he's attracted to. I don't know, it's like that Oedipus complex. You know, it might not be as deep as that, but it definitely you're going to want what you see, you know, so he was raised like that. But it's all posing to be a problem because he is betrothed to another. He is. So Rob is looking real messy. He's not listening to people who has good counsel. That's the foreshadow. Listen, Rob. Listen, Rob. Jesus. Um, where else should we go? Where else should we go? We are going to shoot on over to Arya. Let's speak about Arya before we go to King's Landing. That's where all the shit's going down, King's Landing. So Arya, the bastard son, and their fat friend, hell of a lineup, right? They're all looking bad. They're at Castle Rock as prisoners, and some dude is like the master of inquiries, like he's asking questions, and he wants to know about a rebellion or who helps the rebellion, right? Castle Rock does not look like a great place, by the way. But apparently, it's a dude that comes and chooses somebody to get, investigated or what's that word? Interrogated. Interrogated. And their interrogation tactics, I would say, is great if you were picking people who actually know shit. So they're strapping buckets with rats on them because when you heat that side of the bucket, the rat is going to burrow away from the fire. And if that place is your chest cavity, that's where it's going to end up. And I said, holy shit. Then when the guy gave him the answer, you just still keep it going. I was like, this is rough. This is rough. Because at some point they're gonna get pointed. But we see Arya every night that she survives. She is saying a name and she's adding names. That's very important. As she says these names in her sleep, we know that this list that she's got going on is her kill list, and it's more intriguing the more we hear her do it. It's like, holy shit, who is Arya gonna become? Like, how is she gonna take these people out? You know? But what I noticed is, so then so after interrogating the first dude, they put his head on a spike. And that got me to thinking when I saw that spiked head. I said, you know what? You know how when you have these conversations with thronies, you typically go to, well, who would you fight for? Or whose side do you represent? Like, what banner would you fly? Like, who do you see yourself more like in the Game of Thrones verse? Like, are you a Winterfell? Are you a wolf, a dire wolf? Are you a dragon with the Targaryens? Are you fucking lion like the Lannisters? Like, where you fit in? And you know what? I think I found it. I've been all across the board. I've been Targaryen because I fell in love. I was Dothraki first. Then by way of Dothraki, I ran over to Targaryen, and then after more times I watched it, I was a fan of Tywin. Not quite a Lannister, but I don't know. But then you find out Jon's actually Targaryen, so you go, I guess I'm just Team Targaryen. But I think I might change that again. I think I know where I fit in this world. Your boy, Rail, being an entrepreneur like he is, being a hustler, being his own boss, I think I got the perfect person who I'll be. I'm going to be the person that places his head on spikes. Yeah. I mean, think about it. Stay with me here. Every season, every other episode, there's a goddamn head on a spike or some body parts on a spike. And I said, nobody fucks with the spike, man. You need him. What you gonna do with it? I can see it now. Come on down to Rail's Severed Services. Yeah, you like that, right? Okay. You sever it, we spike it. That's my job. That's what I'll do. If you need anything, have you run into an enemy? You finally called him. Is his death not satisfying enough by your hand? Does your hate for him just does not stop there? Do you want to show your disgust for this person for all the land to see? Come on down to Rail Severed Services. All right? We got spikes 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet. Everything over 8 feet tall, you get 10% off. Okay? We'll spike it. Arms, spiked. Legs, head, torso, spiked. Come on down. That's my job. That's what I'm going to do. Rail Severed Services. Nobody fucks with the Spike Man. But soon as the bastard son gets picked, and he's getting strapped on with the rat, and it's his time to go, and we know, like Game of Thrones, nobody's safe. I said, holy shit, is this how Baratheon's, like, true heirs finna die? I said, oh, wow. Wow. Nope. In rides the hero of the day, Tywin. This is why Tywin is so dope, right? Here I go. I already know. I already felt your eyes rolling. I already heard the, oh my god. Here goes Rail and his love for Tywin. He just loves characters nobody else does. I bet you're a book person too, huh? Huh? That's my new thing for book people. I'm gonna turn these pages. Lick these fingers, turn this page. No, stop it. I'm pretty sure you're that person. But anyway, yes, I am actually going to talk about my love for Tywin. Because Tywin is the only one who makes sense. He comes here and he's like, what the fuck is going on? Why are there rats? Why are you chilling? Why are you burning rats to people's stomachs? What's happening? He's like, well, these are prisoners we caught and we're trying to figure out, answers. We're getting some things, but not. He was like, he was like, the people that don't got them, we get rid of them, bring in a new batch. And Tywin was like, oh, okay, got it. And we got so many men here. We're so well strapped in men that we could just throw away bodies and just kill them, huh? Nobody could do nothing. Asked them, what do? I'm an ironsmith. Well, what the fuck do you know? You're about to murder somebody who can make us weapons at zero cost. You fucking idiot. Stop murdering prisoners. We need them. Okay? Then he looks down, sees Arya, and says, "What's this one's story?" It was like, "Oh, some boy that was." He was like, "Yeah, well, He was like, "It's not a boy, idiot. It's a girl." And he asked her like, "Why are you dressed? Why are you impersonating a boy?" As soon as she gives a valid reason, well, it's because it's safer to travel as a boy. He was like impressed. Like, you are smart. Unlike these fucking idiots surrounding me. You know what? You're the cupbearer. Let's go. Because Tywin likes intelligent people. Because he's surrounded by idiots 98% of the time. Like, look at him. I've been a manager before. So I understand Tywin's frustration with the dumb. You're going to kill people that could potentially pick up a sword. We could at least throw them in the front line. And you about to kill people that actually have a trade? How genius is that? Right? I'm tired of going to rail severed services every time I need something. We should get our own spikers. But nobody's going to do them as well as me, Tywin. Let me assure you of that. So Arya is looking in a better position. She's at least not about to get selected to be the next rat chest. So that's her whole thing. Now we can shoot on over to let's go to King's Landing. Tyrion once again just being an amazing um hand of the king. Now, Joffrey. People forget. I'm so glad we get to rewatch Joffrey because I be hearing names and I be hearing like Joffrey isn't as bad as this person. This person was way worse than Joffrey. I'm so glad that y'all get to rewatch and see the pure evilness that is Joffrey. Like the sadistic murderer that is Joffrey. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is worse than Joffrey. He's losing the battle, right? Rob's won another one. He's mad. What does he do? He grabs Sansa, and I will not stop crying for Sansa. Because you gotta remember, guys, there's a point in time that you may have, when you first watched it, you was like, Sansa is an asshole. You know, that moment when she was free back in Winterfell. Like, fuck Sansa. Nobody even likes her. Until you see what the poor girl has went through. Sitting here with this psychopath with a crossbow threatening to kill her, right? Then making a dude slap her, strip off her clothes in front of these just people in the council, and they just watching. And she has nothing to nobody. Ain't had no parts of nothing. Tries to stay as little and invisible as possible, and Joffrey gets off on this. And then walks Tyrion to hold court. He said, "What the fuck are you doing? And you gonna slap a girl around, an unarmed girl?" And dude's like, "Oh, I just, Lord Commander, I do what my king instructs me." He's like, "Oh, okay." And the way he shuts him down when he says, when Tyrion, it was a threat. It was a threat. He was like, "This is supposed to be your wife, Joffrey. Like, why would you treat her and do her like this? You think she knows what the fuck Rob is doing? You think, what are you talking about? Like, no, you're gonna put these clothes on, and then, and then Buddy, when he thought it was a threat to the king, he said, oh, I wasn't threatening him. Don't worry about that. But how about this? Bronn, if he says another fucking word, I want you to murder him right here and bring me his tongue. Like, murder him." He said, "Now that is a threat." And I love that he has Bronn there and Bronn is with the shits. The Tyrion and Bronn combo is amazing. I could watch just them two travel all of Westeros every episode and just see how them two interact with people. That's how good they are by themselves. So he saves her and he's looking at her like, "Hey, it's all good. You ain't got to worry." And Sansa stays strong, like, "No, it's okay. I'm for the king." He was like, "Okay." He's impressed. Sansa's a survivor. She's gonna make it. But that's not where Joffrey's evilness stops. Oh no. And I love Bronn's suggestion because Tyrion is like, "Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? Like, what is wrong with Joffrey? I don't get it." Bronn is like, "Well, he's at that age. He ain't getting no ass. Let's try that." It always seemed to calm me down. And I'm like, you know what? That's a great idea. I said, sometimes the simple things in life. That boy is packed with frustration. Give the little king some release. And that's right up Tyrion's alley. He could do that. So Tyrion goes and gets him the two best he could find. And what does this sick fuck do? Right? Even even the hound is smirking like, hey, your uncle left you a name's day gift, man. Go in there and check it out. Even he's like, hey, this is not bad. All right, Tyrion. Everybody is happy with this gift. Except for that little sick fuck Joffrey. What does he do? What does he go in there and do? Out of spite? At first I thought it was just spite of his uncle. Having that poor woman beat that other one while he is like holding his crossbow, keeping him basically at like gunpoint, while and then gives her something harder to beat her with and says, yes, then I want you to take her back to my uncle. But it wasn't just pettiness, it wasn't spite for Tyrion. That boy, when you saw his face, he had an enjoyment. He was getting, I think, a sexual arousement out of it, out of pain and suffering. He likes that shit. That's a sick little boy. And there is no reason he is this way. Cersei's not that evil. Jaime's definitely not that. He has not one person who he looked at that showed him that. Like, there, not in his life. This is internal. He's a born monster, this Joffrey. And I'm just like disgusted. But also, what I liked about the King's Landing scenes was Tyrion. Now, when his cousin comes into the room demanding that he let Grand Meister out of the cave by way of Cersei, she demands this. I love how Tyrion gets him to admit that he's smashing Cersei and making him know that, yeah, when they said do everything for her, do you think he really meant he wanted you to fuck his daughter? Like, is that that's what you took from that? And he got the boy so worked up in the panic that he switched him from working for Cersei to being his new eyes and ears for him, since he's already a sexual partner of Cersei's. I was like, that was brilliant. But that wasn't where it stopped. The more brilliant move, which is what I'm just now saying now, is the way Tyrion also allows people to win. He gives away certain battles so he could win bigger ones later on. He's like, you know what? Yes, I just flipped you. That's fine. And what I'm going to do for you is make it a successful trip for you. Tell her I'm going to let him out. I'm going to give him I'm going to give her the Grand Meister. She could be the pet. He just won't be on the council. But yes, I'll free him. No harm, no foul. You can have him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the genius of Tyrion. He's gonna get you. He's gonna attack you, break you down, build you back up, give you a little W in your corner. But he's gonna use that and that piece against you later on. I don't know. I don't know somebody more tactical, right? He is all brain in that little big ass head he got. It's just all brain. It's genius. Loved it. What I don't love is what the fuck is going on between the Baratheons. So finally, Renly and Stannis are having a brother off. All right. Now, what I found funny was Renly coming at him about like he was never a religious man, and then when he sees the messenger for the Lord of Light, he's like, "Oh, I get it now. I see. That would be somebody that would have you join a religion." Little bad redhead here. Now Stannis is disgusted at these claims, but they're accurate. He definitely joined this because she was bad as hell. He definitely did smash her. Okay? And this is his spiritual advisor, so really isn't wrong. Mr. Nobility, Mr. Stannis of Nobility. But these two face off, and then we think there's about to be an impending war. Both sides ain't going. Okay, and they're both willing to kill each other. No matter what Catelyn is talking about. If you would birth my sons, I'd put you in a room and make you work it out. And remember that you two were brothers. I was like, shut up. I was with Stannis, though. How did Ned endorse me as king, but you on that side with Renly, with my bro? I'm confused. And yes, that's another bad move by the Starks. I'm going to continue to show you how dumb the Starks are every hit of the way. So it's because why wouldn't Rob endorse Stannis? He solely went with the numbers. Like he doesn't think like. I mean, I get the numbers, but I mean, you would want to team up with the guy and maybe make a deal with Renly or something, or lie to Renly and then deal with him afterwards. Like, who gives a shit? You need that taken out. You don't need them at war. But it was the confidence of Stannis. And Renly's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I got all the soldiers. Numbers win wars, brother. And, we're going to fight this out. You're going to lose, and I'm going to hate to do it. But Stannis walks away pretty okay. He's like, all right, I guess death you chose. So that's what it's going to be. Now, before we get to how Renly's about to get killed, the scene between Lord Baelish and Catelyn Stark is a great one because her initial hate for him and her anger for him, yes, on it is valid anger, but he was not wrong. He was not wrong. Now he was wrong trying to link back up with her, talking about some. But I mean, look, he's dead. I'm here. This is like perfect. We could reconnect. That was fucking nasty. That was nasty, Lord Baelish. This woman is still mourning, and you trying to weasel your way in there, like, bruh. So we see the weakness of Baelish. Like he is. Littlefinger lost his shit. That's some delusional shit. And I don't know what it's about with her and Catelyn, but whatever. But now, Littlefinger wasn't lying when he said when she accused him of betraying Ned and doing all this, and we trusted you and you fucked us over. He was right when he said I did everything in my power to get him to win. I gave him the opportunity to take this thing before it even blew up to this. He didn't do that. And he's right. We may hate Littlefinger for putting a knife to Ned's throat, but he gave Ned the winning play. He was down to do it. Ned said, fuck that. Not gonna do it. So what is Littlefinger left to do? He's got to go with the winning side. He's got to keep a certain power going. He's got to be there. So, but they returned, Tyrion returned the body of Ned to her and saying, hey, just do an exchange of prisoners. You get your kids back. And they lied. He did lie about having Arya. They don't have no fucking clue what Arya is. So it is a 100% bluff. And I like how he knew that Rob would never do that trade, but Catelyn may have because she's a mother. And he know that she was about to be dumb enough to pull this off. So it's a really good play by Tyrion. Another masterful play. And sending Littlefinger to do it. Well done. Well done. So I thought that was a great scene. Because, once again, Catelyn Stark has to face that she's been an idiot. Ned was an idiot. Now he's a dead idiot. And now she gets to hear how he could have been alive still. But he fucking fumbled being Ned. So this is the way of the Stark. I will show you the way. It's the way of the dumb. I'm sorry. I know y'all love the Starks. I know a lot of y'all love the Starks, but you gotta look in the mirror, much like Catelyn had to do. You gotta look and say, they're dumb. They did everything wrong. And the only people to suffer are the girls. The people that should be protected the most, the little girls, are fucked. They're both in fucked situations. So that's on them. And now, we have some mysticism this episode. Because you know that dragons exist, but we didn't really see the power of the Lord of Light. We thought she was all smoke and mirrors. Yes, she drank some poison, but maybe you were like me at the time. It was like, did she really drink that poison? Or does she like one of those people that's like Riddick, who would poison himself a little by little until he was immune to it? Like maybe Shorty drank a little bit of poison with her crumpets every morning, so then she could pull off this illusion of, oh, in the case of somebody tries to, I don't know, poison me, I'll be okay. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, this fucking Lord of Light, how real can it be? Oh, it's very real. Davos was there. And Davos, being the most non believer of this religion in this situation, was the perfect person to have sit there and be a witness. That she was pregnant, and then pregnant with some 9-foot shadow monster. You know. So Davos looked fucking terrified, as any of us would. I thought that was great. Like, it looked like real fear in his eyes during that scene. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And she went from pregnant to not so pregnant rather quick. And I like how she's flirting with Davos, like, I know you want to see what's under this robe. And Davos didn't not want to see. I was like, oh, you dirty sea dog, you. You dirty, dirty boy. I mean, I can't blame him, though. As crazy as that woman is, But yeah, so now we see how Stannis is gonna win this shit. So the Lord Light is real. I said all that to say that. This is where you find out, like, oh, okay, magic is in the fold. Because when you first watch a Game of Thrones, they always talk about how dragons is this and that, White Walkers. Then we see a little bit of White Walkers. Now we see a little bit of dragon. And we go, holy shit, okay, they got magic going on. But then you got the dark spirits. Like, we knew something funky was happening with the Dothraki, the baby that was born, that whole scene, and how she brought him back to life. Khal Drogo back to life. So we knew that there was some witchcraft, but we quite couldn't put our finger on it. But this one, Lord Light is real. He's really with the shits. So it's teaming up to be a hell of a next episode. Okay? Stannis is looking pretty powerful. If she could birth a few more of those, he'd be fucking unstoppable. Be like Return of the King when them stupid ass pirate ghosts hopped off that boat for the W. That'd be a good weapon. But sorry again for this late review, but you enjoyed it. Okay, and you still got it. So with that, protect your health, yourself, your wealth. Your boy Rel is out of here, man. Peace. Yo, I know I don't need no introduction, but y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Hollywood Rel. And I appreciate you for sliding through and watching these videos. But you know what I need from you? Alright, if you ain't already, I need you to like this and subscribe this, man. We at 1,000 trying to get to 2, alright? Push it for your boy. Get them algorithms up. So when it come to that subscribe button,